Some of them are the most accomplished medical doctors in the United States of America. Some of them are the most outstanding academicians. The American university system will collapse if Nigeria will drop.
Right. That's right.
So we have a very good reason to congratulate ourselves. In fact, Nigeria's wealth is more of these people than the crude oil. But we should allow the crude oil to remain there. Now, it is my privilege to welcome you here, and you have given me your solemn undertaking that you are going to be of maximum behavior. We cannot help but be happy today. At times, faith and history meet at a single point to shape a turning point in a man's destiny, in a nation's destiny. That shows us all that we are not just human beings passing through a temporary spiritual experience, that we are all spiritual beings passing through a temporary human experience. And with that experience, we are accomplished as a nation. Today is not the day to write our reporters. Your Excellency, we in the embassy have tried a lot. That's why you see this is a manifestation of the law they have for Nigerian Embassy. We've been doing so well, sir. I don't want to give the report that the ambassador will do it, but this is a manifestation of
Acting President, everybody have to sit down. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, this is the day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. I will start my address by two brief apologies. First apology is the lateness and the brevity of this occasion. The second one is that when Dr. Goodluck Johnathan sent me here to be his representative, he expected that I should have met you and then report about you to him. When our circumstances determined, you are big. I want to just tell you, you are very big because we are not very lucky with time. But I want to tell you that this is the day in which we are rejoicing, and faith, just as Dr. Kuhn said, has combined to put us in a situation where we cannot but rejoice for what the faith has befallen our country. When a man was born, and his parents looked for the name to name him, they found no other name than Goodluck. He did all that a child could do. Read his book to the last point, PhD. After doing that, he went to look for a wife. He got a wife whose name was Patience. When you combine Goodluck with patience, you get humility. Humility is godliness. And when you have God supporting you, everything you touch turns to gold. Dr. Goodluck Johnathan is touching Nigeria, and everything he touches, everything he does, will turn to gold. I was telling him this, I got to know him. I've been seeing him, of course, knowing him marginally, but I got to know him when I was beginning to plan to come here. And I got to know him more within the last couple of days. You cannot but think that this man has been prepared. God has been preparing him for this event, for the day in which he's going to leave Nigeria. You needed to see him with Obama, with Biden, with Council of Foreign Relations, to all those that think that do matter here. I tell you, those people, they made their match. In terms of grasp of the intricacies of what is happening in Nigeria, in terms of understanding of world politics, and seeing how Nigeria fits into what is the world politics, we could not have had it better. The point I'm making, sir, we Nigerians, and we know the best. When at the meeting of Corporate Council on Africa, somebody got up and said, Mr. President, Within the last 4 days, you have done the best to put Nigeria on a high pedestal. It was a foreigner, an American. So it just justified what I've been saying to you. I've been feeling guilty for stressing too far. His program, everything, I've all packed up. Never had any time for himself. And when that man made that comment, I said, I don't feel guilty anymore. His vision accomplished. So for somebody, we thank God, Dr. Goodluck Johnathan, I want to let you know that we Nigerians here, we Nigerians in this United States of America, we who are proud of our past. We are conscious of the present. We are also supremely confident of the future because we are a leader.
Right.
You need to see the issues at stake. When this man got there, he was thinking as people and I have been thinking. We know what needs to be done for the country, but we never get anybody to do it. Every step can be taken all the way. Whether in his initial statement, he wants to deal with NEPA, he wants to solve the problem with Niger Delta, he wants to solve the Delta reform. These are the things that are agitating the minds of Nigerians, and he has been speaking the minds of you and I. So, with Dr. Johnathan, I want to say, we thank God. We thank God for you. We also want to thank you for agreeing to be God's instrument in shaping the lives of Nigeria. We want to wish you well, and because of your pronouncement, the initial actions you have taken, and the steps you are going to take, which signs you have been seeing, we want to let you know that we like you, we love you, we cherish you, we admire you, and we wish you very many more years of useful service to Nigeria, to Africa, and to humanity at large. Your Excellency, sir, I have reminded the whole Nigerians to tell you that with you, we have taken the first initial steps in creating the Nigeria of our dream. These steps are irreversible, and with you, we shall get the continent. It's my pleasure to ask you to address us.
Thank you. So I will later sit down to read my written address, but I feel I should first of all stand up to greet my brothers and sisters. I've seen so many of you standing because of the arrangements. I have to join the ambassador to really apologize for keeping you for quite some time. Even back home, I don't like going late for occasions. No. So I couldn't have come here in the US and come late for this. But this is the 7th program I'm attending today. Since I woke up, it's from one to the other. So it was quite tight. So we really regret keeping you late, keeping you waiting for this time. But when the master of ceremony was speaking, he made reference to you, the Nigerians in America here, as the most important people on earth. But somehow it looks like a joke. But I totally agree with him. Because when I was with Obama on Sunday, I came, he commended him. If the President of America is the most powerful country on earth, to commend the Nigerians in America, then of course my head will be as large as it will be. So I really thank you for the good work you've been doing to attract that positive comment from President Obama. And that's one of the reasons I will stand up to sincerely thank Nigerians in America that you've made us proud, and we should continue in your good work. Maybe I have to sit down so that I will see the papers. Let me make a little address, then of course I will respond to the questions. Initially I told the ambassador that I was just going to make some comment generally, then rather respond to your questions. But I feel like since I documented it, maybe it's better to read so that the issues will be put in the proper perspective. I would like to thank you very much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to meet with me today. I truly appreciate your generosity in this regard. You have been here also demonstrate the abiding love you have for your country, for that, and the commitment that you continue to express for the peace, democracy, and the development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Many of you came here to pursue happiness. You came here because this land offered hope and opportunity for everyone to excel, the American dream, as they call it. Many of you came here with little, but today you have reached the peak of your career and have provided the educational foundation for your children to in turn achieve even greater dreams than yours. In many parts of Nigeria, the remittance from you constitute a significant portion of the household budgets, and several communities continue to make progress as a result of their own generosity. Your contributions to national, state, and local debate on several issues ranging from democracy to good governance and transparency to appropriate technology, from the question of the Niger Delta and the inter-ethnic harmony, citizenship, and development have all been most invaluable in the process of nation building. Our nation is a work in progress, and I am confident we are moving in the right direction. During your stay here, many of you have also contributed invaluably to the development of the United States, and some of you even in exceptional ways, thereby earning respect for our dear country, Nigeria. There are, of course, that tiny minority that has let us down, and a few who represent our collective interest. But on the whole, I can say very clearly that myself and Nigerians are proud of the Nigerians living in America. I must particularly mention the commitment with which you condemned the unfortunate incident of December 20, 2009 on the Delta airline. Your strong opposition to the classification of Nigeria among the countries of particular interest by the government of the United States signified your high level of patriotism, which I urge you to sustain. In conformity with recognition of your contributions to Nigeria's development, we are in the process of establishing a diaspora commission which will enable the federal government to benefit from the immeasurable assets in the diaspora today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, only last week, here in Washington, Nigeria and the United States signed a historic framework agreement establishing the Nigeria-US Binational Commission. That agreement not only reflects the historic friendship and collaboration that exists between Nigeria and the US, but equally demonstrates the determination of our two governments to increase and strengthen bilateral cooperation on the vast array of issues of mutual interest. Once again, I thank you so very much for being unofficial ambassadors of our great country. Like many of you here, I had great dreams for the future in my youth, and I worked progressively through the ranks. And that led me to pass through the levels of a teacher, a career in the Oil Mineral Production Area Development Commission, where I focus on the environment of the Niger Delta. While I got into politics, I'm also confronted with that challenge, the challenge of sustainable development, which I believe collectively will surmount it. As an individual, I continue to make progress and never considered to this difficulty, although of course, you all know how that's difficult it was. Throughout my free political career, I have applied the lesson of science inquiry and technological innovation to meet the challenges that my constituency face. Today, I am confronted with the greatest test of my political career. While we continue to pray for the recovery of our President, Alhaji Musa Yar'Adua, it is my responsibility to work with all Nigerians to improve the pace of development and and to do so is in the right direction. We are choosing for ourselves what I will call foundational responsibilities, which, if well shouldered, will form a solid base for the development of Nigeria from this point onward. In this responsibility of consolidating and deepening our democracy, reforming and improving the energy sector, strengthening the banking and financial services industry, and resolving the Niger Delta problem, we all have a role to play. I believe that in choosing to focus on these sectors, we have indeed faced the right direction. What remains is for us to take the appropriate steps with confidence and in unity, while obliterating the cankerworm of corruption, indolence, nepotism, and sectional agenda. Last week, Tuesday, I inaugurated the reconfigured Executive Council of the Federation. The women and men in this cabinet are choosing to deliver on our promise of good governance. I am confident that they have a pedigree to meet our high expectations. During the inauguration of the council, I made it very clear that in working with all the ministers' targets will be set, milestones will be agreed, and they will publicly report monthly progress against milestones, and a strong monitoring and evaluation regime will be the basis on which we can determine whether any minister is serving the purpose for which he or she was appointed. As you are already aware, I kept the most challenging job for myself, that is overseeing the power sector. We are doing this temporarily, it's not going to be permanent, because if you listen to the cabinet, there is no substantive minister for power. Because we want to look at the power sector from a semi-emergency approach, where we're having a team of professionals that will be coordinated by me, and we'll be meeting to see how we can drive the power sector for the next 3 months, then we'll review it. We have constituted a committee that was headed by me, and in every 3 months we'll assess the progress. We believe that the power sector in Nigeria will have to be handled that way, because without power, small and medium-scale enterprises cannot thrive. In a democratic development, our key strategy is to reform the electoral system in order to achieve electoral integrity. This will be underpinned by a general attitude of absolute respect for the right of all citizens. We submitted the Justice Ways Committee to the National Assembly, including the position of the Federal Executive Council. And the National Assembly is very free to come up with a modification of our laws and the Constitution to ensure that our elections are credible and that our votes count. I can say that the present administration is committed to ensuring that we conduct successful elections. The only thing we cannot do now is for the Nigerians in diaspora to vote from the countries of the abroad. I cannot promise that. But in terms of success in elections, in terms of making sure that the votes of Nigerians count, we are on course. You might already know that in the recent elections we conducted in Edo State, in one state constituency, the one conducted in Anambra State, the governorship of Anambra, and on Saturday when we conducted the elections in Abuja, the municipal elections, that elections were reasonably accepted. And I will promise that we will continue with that spirit. The problems of the Niger Delta are also being tackled, because we are aware of the amnesty program that is divided into 3 phases. The disarmament phase, which is the voluntary surrender of weapons by the militants that carry arms against the state. That has been concluded. We are in the phase of rehabilitation, where you are reorientating their thinking, building up capacity for people to begin to see how they can have a different way of employing themselves, either building capacities so that they can take paid jobs or be on their own. After that, we go into the complete reintegration processes. We agree that at the end of the disarmament, there was a kind of a lull, because the camps that were to be used for the next phase of rehabilitation were not quite ready. And that was the cause of the lull. It was not just because Mr. President was not well, because all the funds for that were provided and I did release them. I promise you that the Niger Delta issue is being addressed, and by God's grace, I will bring the restiveness to a reasonable level of control. I have talked about power, which is a critical sector. I have talked about Niger Delta, which is also a critical sector, because these are the issues that come up. I also talked about electoral reforms, which is also a critical sector. But I can assure you that we are not limiting activities of government only in these sectors. We are looking at every other sector, and we believe that the Nigerians in diaspora have a key role to play to work with government. Within the shortest possible time, the foreign minister will reach out to you and see how we can form or set up the proposed commission. We mean well because we believe that Nigerians have a lot of professionals all over the world that we can tap their knowledge, and of course a number of people who are also good in business, to create an enabling environment where a number of our problems will be solved within the country. One of the key areas we are looking at is the health sector. Presently, almost every day a Nigerian will leave this country, our country, for India for treatment. And Nigerians have fantastic medical doctors in America, in the United Kingdom, and the rest of Europe. And we believe that if they are properly harnessed, we will have the kind of hospitals we have in India that we are going, and the capital flight in terms of foreign exchange that we take out of the country on a daily basis will be highly reduced. There are other areas where we're interested, of course, but it has to do with areas where high level of technology is required. So the diaspora's population of Nigeria is a critical population that we will always remember and we will always work with. On behalf of my team, which have been introduced by the ambassador, we are about 5 governors that came with us. That's 103 are here, the governor of Zamfara State, and the governor of Imo State, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, the governor of Rivers State has left, and of course the governor of Edo State, but they have left. I'm also here with members of the parliament. We have the serving senator that is here with us, and a member of the House of Representatives that is with us. We have 3 ministers. The petroleum minister has just left for the airport. That's our flight. But the foreign affairs minister is here with us. The minister of finance. We also have the personal advisor to the president on petroleum and other senior government functionaries. The permanent secretary for foreign affairs with us. And of course, our ambassador is a part of it. Permanent rep at the UN. And one very senior person that has been with us throughout this trip, very supportive, is the American ambassador to Nigeria. He's very hard-working. We thank her very sincerely for being with us, encouraging us. Surely we will succeed. And through her, we have a good rapport with the
clerical government.